Hello, today I'm going to be talking to you about the dyadic power theory. So, I will be covering a theory overview in my discussion today. I will also be discussing an academic journal article that I selected that pertains to this theory. And I will also get into the dyadic power theory and how it relates to the world around us. To get started, did you know that there are various types of dyads that we use or engage in our everyday lives? These include relationships such as parent child, doctor patient, teacher student, and boss employee, all of which display varying levels of power and communication. So let's define it. What is dyadic power theory? DPT, dyadic power theory, examines perceived power, dominance behavior, and control. So our book had a brief definition of the theory. And in my searches, I came across one I felt described the theory in depth. It is by Don Braithwaite, Elizabeth A. Suter, and Corey Floyd in the book entitled Engaging Theories in Family Communication. So it states power and relationships and their effects on communication behaviors look at dyad power theory and how it examines the factor that cause individuals to feel powerful relative to others, the process of communication that results from that power, and the outcome for the persons involved in the engage of communication and the relationship shared amongst the individuals. I thought that was pretty descriptive. I think that it really went into how dyadic power theory works, what it examines, and the results of the dyadic power theory as far as the outcome of the exchange of communication. The academic journal article that I selected was entitled Observations of Dyadic Power in Interpersonal Interaction, and this was by Nora Dunbar and Gordon Abraw. So, the hypothesis was that more dominance will be displayed in equal power relationships than in unequal power relationships. There are roughly 150 participants, both men and women, between the ages of 18 and 45. Each participant was offered $12 as an incentive for their participation. So, the method used was they randomly assigned participants to a power condition, whether it was unequal high, equal, or unequal low. They used the DSP desert scenario, and they had the participants rank 12 items um, themselves, and then when they were with their dyad, the person they were in their power condition with, they were asked to re-rank the items in effort to achieve the correct rank based on what the DSP desert scenario states is 1 through 12 most important. They displayed both verbal and nonverbal cues, and those included things such as rocking and nervousness and shaking, facial pleasantness or unpleasantness, and all of those things were observed to try and decipher how the dyad was engaging in communication and the power being exchanged amongst the two individuals. So the results displayed that participants were likely to display dominance in equal power and unequal high power conditions and were found to be more satisfied than people in unequal low power conditions. Persons who maintained the most control and were least affected by their partner's decisions were those in unequal high power conditions, which I thought was pretty interesting. I felt that perhaps it was going to be those in like a more of an equal power condition, considering both participants would seem, to my knowledge, be more happier. But that's quite intriguing that unequal high power conditions were found to be the most satisfied. So now let's take a look at the dyadic power theory in the world around us. We all engage in dyadic power. As previously stated, you engage doctor-patient, it's teacher-student, parent-child, boss-employee. Those are all common dyads that we engage in on a regular basis and exchange communication. So having a power balance is important, and you can maintain that balance by knowing when to be dominant in your conditions and when submission is required. such as a teacher-student dyad, where you're more likely to adhere to the teacher's power over the student. Know the different types of levels that you are comfortable with in your power dyad. Do not allow a person to unwillingly exude power over you. Be mindful. When someone has exerted too much power over you, they have the ability to change your attitudes, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your behaviors. And that is where your social influence will come in. So let's recap. Today we discussed the types of dyads like doctor-patient, boss-employee, etc. We have defined the dyadic power theory, and we discussed the observations of dyadic power and interpersonal interaction. Lastly, we looked at the theory and you. And as the theory discovered, having relationship with equal power has found to be most satisfying. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.